So the best hybrid picking exercise I know, when I use hybrid picking, I mostly, 99% of the time, just use my middle finger to do the upstrokes as a replacement of my alternate picking upstrokes. And that works amazingly along with hammer-ons and pull-offs. Because hammer-ons and pull-offs are kind of like a subtle flowing movement. And when I'm using my finger, then that has no attack almost. It's like grazing the string with a tennis ball, right? It doesn't go, it doesn't do that, it does this, right? So I'm basically just, with my finger, activating the string. That's what happens, that's it. I can't really influence the sound of it unless I pop it out like, but that's not what I use it for. I use it for these fast legato runs, and then I pick very lightly with my pick, very lightly, and I pick very lightly with my finger. And a really cool exercise for this is it's a simple exercise I picked up from Paul Gilbert that was about alternate picking. But when I started practicing hybrid picking, that exercise was gold, right? I should say from the beginning here that when you use this middle finger, it's going to feel really awkward in the beginning, and it's going to stick to the string, and you're going to pop it in towards the fretboard. It's going to sound awful, and it's going to seem like, hey, this is never going to work. But it is. If you're willing to accept the fact that this is, something you have to get used to, right? You have to practice it because it's all in the details, the very minute details. So what you do is, in this case here, I'm using the shape on the two middle strings, 5, 7, and 9 on the D string, and 5, 7, and 9 on the G string. And what I only use one note in the 5th fret on the G string. So I basically just go up 4 notes. Right? And I use hammer-ons and pull-offs, and I start by picking the first note very lightly in the 5th fret. Then I hammer on to the 7th and hammer on to the 9th. And then I pick, quote unquote, the note in the 5th fret on the G string with my finger here. And that's a subtle little movement, as you can see here. I'm not doing much, right? It's just a little bit of a flick. I'm just grazing the string a little bit. And then what I do is I go back with a pick stroke on the lower string, the D string. So I go 5, 7, 9, pick the G string in the 5th fret, go right back to the 9th fret with a downstroke from your pick, pull off down to 7, and pull off down to 5. Now I don't have to pick that string again, or that note again, because it's already activated, right? So I go, and what I end up with is the rest is hammer-ons and pull-offs. Finger downstroke, right? And then what Paul Gilbert did in his very fine little exercise, that was a nightmare, by the way, Paul. It's not a beginner exercise when it comes to alternate picking, because you have to do a double string shift, like going pick, up, and down. So you're basically going from one string to another and back again right away, which is the hardest part of alternate picking. But with hybrid picking, it's pretty easy. Once you get the hybrid picking up and running, it will be a fraction of the practice you need. Right? And with time, you actually don't have to do the pick stroke. You only have to, because the pinky here is very good at hammering on by itself. So if I go like this, I can just go. Right? It feels so nice because it's such a little movement. But then, what Paul did in his alternate picking lick was that he exaggerated the hard part of the string shift. Thank you, Paul, for giving me that idea when I was, 16, and I was just struggling for like 2 years to make that happen. But what you do is you go up, 4 notes up, then you go right back to the 9th fret. But then you go right up to the note again, and then back to the 9th fret on the other string. So it sounds like this. Hammer on, hammer on. Pick with the finger in the 5th fret on the G string. Back to the 9th fret with a little downstroke. Back to the 5th fret on the G string again, and then back to the 9th again with a downstroke, and then pull off. So it sounds like this. Right? So that double string shift is easy suddenly, right? And also, you can just, with no further ado, you can just hit another note on another string, because, you know, you can do this very closely, or you can do this, right? So you can do string skipping like it was nothing. Oh. Right? Because you can reach that far without having to do a long movement here, right? So and hybrid picking in combination with legato, once you get it up to speed, becomes this delicious flowing thing that seems so easy. Also, when you see my right hand, it seems so relaxed, right? Because it's almost not doing anything compared to, right? And it gives this soft flowing thing. So practice Paul Gilbert's 4 notes up and down, and then exaggerate, or, you know, focus on the string shift, and just do it slowly, no rushing. Just, you need to do it perfectly every single time. Once you get the technique down for 5 minutes, that's what it takes. You go. Right? And then practice that over and over and over again. Sitting in your couch, turn the guitar down or don't plug it in, and then just go. Right, you can do that for 90 minutes while watching a Tom Cruise movie or something, right? Or for, you know, 2 times 90 minutes every night, right? Over and over again. And then pretty soon you'll get used to that, you know, precise movement of just the right kind of pressure on the string, and then you have it down. My name is Claus, and don't forget to go download the free course. And I hope to see you in another video. Subscribe, that's what I wanted to say. Subscribe, please, please subscribe. You know, it means something. See you around.